started with plus, minus, plus, minus. So we have completed the loop and this cell is bypassed. So we do not consider this particular 7. Now what was the next step? What is the next step? The next step in the Modi method, after making the loop, our aim, why we are doing this loop, why we are making a loop in this table, because our aim is to find out a new basic variable. So the new basic variable will be, remember, this particular cell which has the most negative value minus 18. So I will put one circle here and that will be my new incoming variable. This will enter into the basis, and once if I add that cell, there will be 7 basic variables. But as we know, but one cannot have more than m plus n minus 1 number of basic variables. So one has to go out of the basis. So I will find one incoming and one outgoing variables. It is a known terminology nowadays in mobile. So choose the smallest value of the basic variable from the negative marked cells. See, these are minus, minus, this minus and this minus are two negative marked cells. The values of the basic variables are 2 and 8. So smallest is 2. So we choose 2 now, and this 2 we have to add to the positive mark cells. What is the positive mark cell here? These two, this one and this one. So I have added 2 here, it becomes 10. Let us go back. It is 10. I have to add 10 plus 2. So this becomes 12, and here nothing is there. So here we will get an extra basic variable, that is 2. Let us see. See, in this empty circle, I have to put 2, nothing plus 2 is 2, and 10 plus 2 is 12. So we add and we get 2 and 12 here. Okay. Now we subtract 2 from the negative mark cells. These two are negative mark cells. So 2 minus 2 becomes 0. Here 8 minus 2 becomes 6. Subtract the smallest value from the negative mark cells. So this becomes 0 and this becomes 6. The variable whose basic value, whose value becomes 0 is your outgoing variable. Okay, and this is your new incoming variable. So we remove this variable from the table in the next step, and now we also remove all these ui's and this green values, means those zij's. Okay, and we again write down this all values in a new table. So you can also write a new table, and we get the improved solution. You can see this 2 is a new variable, new basic variable. Before it was some value here, so that has been removed, and we get the new basic variable 2 here. Again you count, number of basic variable remains 6. Okay, so it is still non-degenerate basic feasible solution. Again the question arises whether this is an optimum solution or not. Again one has to go through that process. So we go back to step 3 to check whether this solution is optimum or not. So again we find new set of variables and new dij's, and again check the optimality condition for the new improved solution. So for this new solution, again I am taking v4 equal to 0, and we calculate C14 is means this value I am taking C1, U1, U2, U3 using occupied cells, as you know. So we get 10 here, 20 here. See, I am using only occupied cells. Using this V4 equal to 0 and this particular cell, the formula is 20, this C34, third row, fourth column, 20 is equal to U3 plus V4. V4 was 0. So U3 becomes 20. So therefore 20 is there. So these two values are calculated. Now U2 I cannot calculate using this cell because it is not occupied cell, it is an unoccupied cell. So we have to now find out some other occupied cell where we can calculate something, V1, V2, V3, anything. So that you have to observe and find. Now what can be done? See, this U1 is 10, that is given. This is occupied cell in this particular row, and V1 is not calculated. So after the 3 unknowns, 2 are known. So we can find the remaining one. Means in this cell, that is cell 1, 1, the formula if I use C11 is equal to U1 plus V1. As you know, U1 is known, that is 10. What is C11? 19. So V1 becomes 19 minus 10, that is 9. So V1 is equal to 9. You understand now? So U2 cannot be calculated before we calculate the other values. So V1 is calculated first. Now which other value I can calculate? Can I calculate U2 now? Yes. No. Still it is not possible, because in this particular cell U2 and V2 is not possible. Okay. So we calculate something else. This, let us choose this one, 6. This is occupied cell. This value is known, so only V2 is not known. So now next I can calculate V2. For calculating V2, I use the cell number 3, 2, third row and second column. So C32 is equal to U2 plus V3. As you know, C32 is 8, this one, U3 is 20 and V3 is not known. So V3 becomes 8 minus 20, that is minus 12. So now V3 is calculated. Okay, V2 is calculated, sorry. So it is, here it is a mistake. It should be the other way, U3 plus V2, no problem. Okay, so it is calculated in the right way, minus 12. Now I can calculate this value U2. C22 is equal to U2 plus V2. Once V2 is known, now I can calculate U2. What is U2? Not known. What is V2? Minus 12. What is C22? It is 30. Remember, I am using this occupied cell, the cell where I am pointing out using the arrow. So we get U2, that is 30, minus becomes plus, 30 plus 12, 42 if you take this on this side. So value of U2 is 42. Okay. So all UIs are calculated. What remains? Only V3 is remaining. And now we can use this only cell having basic variable value 7. And the formula will be C23, because it's the second row, third column. C23 is equal to U2 plus V3. U2 is 42, calculated just now. And V3, what is V3 now? 40 minus 42. So that is minus 2. So V3 becomes minus 2. So we have calculated all the new values of shadow variables, UIs and VJs. And now the next step, after calculating UIs and VJs, we calculate again the Dij values. Okay. So again for calculating Dijs, let us go through quickly using the formula. So use unoccupied cells and the formula Dij is equal to UI plus Vj, so that you can find all the opportunity cost. Okay. So you can see here all the opportunity costs are calculated. So we have gone through quickly because it is the same process, the same technique. For example, let us consider the last one, D33. What was D33? D33 means third row, third column. It is here. It is defined as C33. C33 is 70. U3 is 20 and V3 is minus 2. So 20 plus minus 2 is 18. Again minus sign. So minus 18 and 70 minus 18. So 52. Therefore this 52 is there. So this is the way we have calculated all green values, that is Dijs or opportunity cost. And what was our optimality criteria? That if all Dijs are non-negative, then this solution, the current solution, is optimum solution. Here all Dijs are non-negative. As you can see, no value is negative. Therefore, this is an optimum solution. What is an optimum solution? The yellow circles are the basic variables. That is our optimum solution. So that means one should transport 5 number of units from O1 to D1, 2 number of units from O1 to D4, 2 units from O2 to D2, 7 units from O2 to D3, 6 from 3 to 2, and 12 number of units from O3 to D4. And the total cost should be calculated in this manner. Okay, cost, what is 19 here? 19 was the cost of transportation for 1 unit of item. So, and for 5 items, it is 90 into 5, 95 rupees. So, if you do this way, you can calculate the cost of transportation, total cost of transportation, 19 into 5, 10 into 2, 30 into 2, it is here, 40 into 7, 8 into 6 and 20 into 12. So, it turns out to be 743. So, the cost of transportation is 743. Before it was, using Vogel's method, if you remember, it was 779. So, it is less. So, one should prefer this solution, and it is an optimum solution according to the MODI methods. Okay. So, we have learnt this algorithm of modified distribution method. Remember, we have not discussed the special case. Okay, what happens if there is a unbalanced transportation problem? What happens if in between two cells are removed simultaneously in making the loop and so on? If time permits, next time we will see that how to find this or a solution in the special cases. Okay, so here we have got the solution. Thank you very much, and I hope you have enjoyed this lecture. Thank you so much.